Good evening and welcome to tonight's presentation on how we get the right camera. Welcome to tonight's presentation on how we reorganize, reduce, and reprioritize government in Iowa. Not just state government, but we're also going to address some key issues of local government reorganization also. Now, my name is Jonathan Narcisse, and I'm running as an independent for governor here in Iowa on the Iowa Party ticket. And I'm very excited to be here tonight at the studios of DesMoinesAmplified.com, where we not only are going to be able to do our presentation live, but we're also going to be able to use this wonderful board to go through a host of charts, as well as to be able to put up on the board we reorganize, reduce, and reprioritize state government. So every once in a while I'll talk to the folks in the back of the room just to make sure we're on the same page. Can I go over to the board now? Okay, let's get the whiteboard up. Or in fact, let's get the state organization chart up. We've got a state organization chart, and it's changed some. Right here, State of Iowa organization chart. And one of the first things we have to understand is the overall flow of state government. Now, this chart has changed slightly, but it's a fairly strong representation of the way state government is structured in Iowa. Now, there have been a couple of changes. This was the chart that I received, by the way, from state government. So there was not a more current chart, but there have been a couple of slight changes. For example, the Department of Elder Affairs is now the Department of Aging. So it doesn't fundamentally change what we're going to talk about. Now, the first thing that folks need to understand is that if we don't address state government, we cannot fix other areas of our state. For example, if we have a strong education system, and then the governor comes along and orders a 15 or 20% across-the-board budget cut, and we have to start letting teachers go, and we have to start closing schools, and we have to start closing programs, despite the strength of our education system, the condition which government finds itself in could potentially destabilize everything. Stand over here, like this, okay? Now, and we've come a long way since Sioux City. Yeah, we've come a long way since Sioux City. So be patient with us in the first part of this. Now, the other thing we have to understand is that if state government is not functioning properly and it triggers some massive property tax hike, for example, then what happens is we also destabilize the economic foundation and engine of our state. Farmers suffer. Small businesses suffer. We saw this recently with massive and debilitating property tax hikes. So we absolutely need to fix state government before we can begin fixing anything else. Now, a lot of people may not realize this, but states really are the vital governmental body that impacts everything. To put it in perspective, the state is the one that says, in the case of Texas, you walked across the street on a Saturday afternoon during football, we're going to kill you. Or in the case of Iowa, we know you blew up that busload of nuns, but you're just going to do life in prison. States literally have the power over life and death. They have the power to determine how much they tax your property. They have the power to determine how much you pay in individual income taxes. They have the power to determine that education is a constitutional right. So we want to know, can we keep this up but go to something else? Yeah. Let's go to the U.S. Constitution. The amendments. I think it's in up there, history, chapter 7, history of an Iowa Constitution. Or I think you have the right one clicked on. Maybe it's under, no, that's the wrong one. Next one, the federal government. Yeah, let's go to the one next to the federal government. And we go to the previous page. We're going to go to Amendment 10.
Okay.
So we need to go to the page before that, a couple pages before. So we're getting there. One more. And then scroll down. Okay. And well, we're going to try our cool highlighter. Can I click on the highlighter?
Make it a little larger here so you can see it.
Okay.
You already did it. Go ahead.
We click on our highlighter here. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And this is the foundation for states' power. This is the constitutional provision that acknowledges that states, in fact, are sovereign entities. Now, a lot of people get confused the power that the federal government has. The power the federal government has over states really, in many instances, comes down to the power of the purse. Not that the states constitutionally can force, not that the federal government can constitutionally force states to make people wear helmets when they're riding motorcycles, or that they can force people to drive no faster than 65 or 75 miles an hour. The reason that that happens is not because the federal government has the authority to impose upon states. The reason it happens is because the federal government is cutting checks or withholding checks to the states, and so states submit to the federal authority. So as you begin the process of weaning states off the federal needle, or more appropriately, detoxing states from the federal needle, you begin the process of restoring the sovereignty states have. And in order to fix Iowa, we have to absolutely be governed. We lost our highlight. We absolutely, there we go. We absolutely have to be governed as a sovereign entity. Because the federal government, which has really become very aggressive in areas like education, health, really doesn't know any better what we need than we do ourselves. And a prime example, we're not going to focus a lot on education other than how it impacts governance, but a prime example is No Child Left Behind. The federal government decided to create this law that was supposed to improve education, and in states like Iowa, it literally is destabilizing education at nearly every level. So in order for us to proceed, we proceed with the understanding that we are going to be governed as a 10th Amendment state, not governed as a ward of the federal bureaucracy. So that's important. You can wipe that out. There you go. That's so cool. Can we get rid of our highlight here? Yeah, let's get rid of the highlight there. Can I click on the eraser?
Go for it.
There we go. And we get rid of the highlight. So we get back to our flow chart. And can I write on this chart here?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me blow it up a little.
We get the flow. Because this point is going to be pretty essential.
One sec, John.
Okay. And you know, if you had a chance to view the first two live presentations, the presentation in Sioux City was you know, a little more focused on post-debate analysis. The presentation in Cedar Rapids was more of a post-debate roundtable. But tonight we want to focus on educating Iowans on how we fix our government. It's not just enough to criticize these two governors for failing to present a vision for this state. After the Sioux City debate, we realized that they lacked the capacity or they lacked the willingness to lay out a vision like